Hello guys, and welcome to Ride VIP, the Ride channel. My name is Serge, and in today's video I decided to work. So basically it is January the 2nd, at least I think it is. Time is going by so quickly. It is January the 2nd, as late as it is. So pretty soon after midnight it's going to be January 3rd, and that's when I will finish doing my work. So I decided to make this video to basically talk a little bit about the things that I am currently doing, maybe to help inspire others that are over here struggling doing the rideshare. Maybe I could give some examples of what else you could be doing and lift up your spirits that this is, not the only thing that you can be doing. You could always be doing something else. And you could do this too, to help, I guess, supplement your income while things are slow. So this is a fresh year, fresh mindset. There is a lot of things that I'm going to be working on this year. And with that being said, I already started working on them just starting I think like a couple weeks ago. It could have been even like 3 weeks ago. It just the time is going kind of quickly. But of course I started planning on what's my new year's gonna look like, and one of those things is of course creating my business as a mobile mechanic. So that business was created. I set up the van and everything, and I'm sure I mentioned that I wasn't really planning to do any type of work as a mobile mechanic in the wintertime, which does include January and February. However, I will make some exceptions. But again, I'm not actually advertising anything to get any type of work. But with that being said, I was taking a passenger recently back to his house, and we started talking, and he asked me what I'm doing, and he told me what he's doing and stuff, and I told him that I fix cars and stuff, and he told me that he owned a Range Rover, and I'm like, yeah, I own one too, and then cool, so he got my number just in case if anything will happen, because I told him I do like a mobile mechanic type of service. So guess what? Couple weeks after I gave him a ride, he calls, but basically he texts me, and he says that his Range Rover having some issues. So long story short, I came out there, I diagnosed it, I did diagnostics, told him what it needed, and made some money, good money, I might add. I made like $240 in 56 minutes without really doing much, just my know-how, and but anyways, he needed an alternator. So recently I talked to him and I gave him a quote how much it's going to be to replace it. I told him anywhere from $350 to $500 depending on what I have to do, because all the models are different. Guess what the dealer quoted him? $2,000. Yep, I'm not surprised. So he told me, yeah, he definitely wants to do that. So I guess sometime maybe this week or maybe the next, I will get around to where, we'll get that done, because we still got to get the parts ordered. But I do plan to give him a call tomorrow. Well, more like a text, not a call. I'm going to reach out. I'm going to ask him if he has ordered any parts. And if he did, when are they going to be there? And I guess a good time for me to install that alternator, because that's nothing crazy. But of course, in that type of situation, I'm already doing a little bit of mobile mechanic type of work, sort of like picking and choosing my clients. So something's happening. So today I got some kind of email. Somebody wants me to check out their car. Already, according to the email, I don't know if I really want to take that work. because the person's not being very specific, and it sounds like, he's on a budget and everything and this and that, and he does not want to take it to the dealership, which I understand. It could cost him a lot of money. But I don't know what's wrong with his vehicle. I have a good idea, but I wasn't there, so I actually need to diagnose it. But anyways, I gave him I answered his email basically, and told him what he needed to know. So I guess with the mobile mechanic business, I am not really using my mobile mechanic van yet because I need to put insurance on it. And since I wasn't really planning to do any work, I decided to save a little money and just not have any insurance on it. And so it's just parked. But I'm thinking that's getting ready to change probably within the next 1 to 4 weeks. We'll see. Because technically we're still in the winter. I really don't want to pay for something that I'm not using. I don't know if that makes much sense, but it kind of does. So depending on how this goes, if I do get this job to replace the alternator, I'm thinking, okay, well, I could afford to put insurance on it at that point. So basically the van has kind of paid for itself, I guess. So I could put on insurance, and then I'll have myself a van that I could use. So that's going to be good. Then it means I could start advertising and getting myself on Google Maps and all that good stuff. Because when I do add insurance and stuff, then I'm gonna need to add my business to Google Maps and that kind of thing. But anyways, along with that, guys, I am basically working on another business which I already talked about, and that is my car parts business, and I've mentioned that in the last video. So I have listed 17 cars to part out. Okay, so here's how that went. So I basically listed them on Facebook Marketplace, and I started getting messages pretty much right away of people asking for various stuff. Very quickly I found out that some of the parts that I do have on some nice cars, they're kind of worthless. When I price them out. And I'm thinking, well, I don't want to have to. For instance, let me make an example. I got a 2013 Nissan Altima, right? Car was working perfectly fine. On the highway, head gasket went. After I replaced the radiator, the car did start up before I added water to it. Once I added water, it's bubbling up the water. The car does not want to start anymore. So, because it's obviously splashing out of the radiator cap while I'm starting it, obviously, head gasket. So, I need to go ahead and actually replace that. Replace the head gasket and get the car started and everything. I bought the head gasket. I got the head bolts. I have all that. So that's not a big problem. But here's the thing, guys. I decided to just part that car out, right? And I put it on a Facebook Marketplace as parts. And some people, they're trying to buy it, right? They're trying to just lowball me and just get it for $1,000. But I'm not gonna try to do that. The car only has 117,000 miles. I don't know the actual value of that car, but it is a 2013. I'm not going to be selling for some lowball price. If I would fix that car, I would just use it myself and save money on fuel, because it's a 4-cylinder. It was really fuel efficient, about 35 miles per gallon. Nothing crazy, but still, I was able to use the cheapest fuel and drive a lot more with it. But anyways, here's my point. Somebody was asking to buy the headlights, but I looked at them on eBay. Of course, they're aftermarket headlights on eBay. and they're like $50 a piece. Man, that's crazy. I remember like when I got this car, right before COVID, I got it. One headlight or a pair, I can't remember, was $1,900 on eBay, and there was like tons of listings. I don't know if it's some error, but like could not be an error like with having that many listings. Those headlights were going for a lot, like $500-$700 on the, you know, that was like the cheapest I could find, and it had some issues. So I'm thinking, boy, times have changed. You know, if I was gonna part anything out, I should have done it then. So that got me thinking. I'm thinking like, look, I got other cars that are similar to this Nissan Altima, and you know, to fix them, yeah, it's gonna take a little effort, right? Taking them apart would probably take even more effort, and then I have to deal with the whole mess. So I'm thinking, look, here's what I'm gonna have to do. If a car is still worth fixing, because the car's parts are so kind of like cheap. I mean, when I say cheap, like I'm not gonna get my money back anytime soon. Like the money that I invested in a Nissan Altima. I think like Nissan Altima, I think at auction it cost me about $4,500. Sure, I got some use out of it, but try and get like your money back when parts are worth like $50 each. I mean, how much on that car can be sold to give me my money back? Probably not a lot. You know, so that would be very challenging for me to even break even. And then I'll have basically like a carcass, you know, like a metal carcass sitting there. That's not gonna be good. So I'm thinking, look, I mean, it's just a head gasket issue. It's like no big deal. I just need to make time and fix it. Of course, I got other stuff going on. This is not the only job out there. That's why it's been delayed, because I'm not just sitting on my hands. I'm making money elsewhere. It's not like that requires my immediate attention, because if that does get my attention, that means somewhere else I am not making money, if that makes any sense. But anyways, I decided to remove it off the market and similar cars. So I think right now I might have like, I don't know, like 13 cars maybe, or like 12 on Facebook Marketplace that I could part out. So the cars I decided to now part out is the cars that's been salvaged and they're crashed. Basically, they still need like lots of work, or it was sold without no title, you know, situations like that. So I'm thinking, okay, in that aspect of it, at least it doesn't hurt. It's kind of like, I know that car, you know, can be sold any other way. So there's no point in having, you know, in trying to restore it, you know. So I know that seems like common sense for a lot of y'all, but I mean, that was my plan to begin with. And then I just sort of like said, you know, look, let me just get into this parts business, do like volume of parts, you know, and things should be pretty good. But I think it's probably been at least, well, it hasn't been a week, maybe it's been half a week since I did that, and I haven't sold anything. All it was is a bunch of people asking me random stuff and people trying to lowball me. So that was like Facebook Marketplace experience for me. So I'm thinking, yeah, I'm probably going about it all wrong, right? Trying to save time, because I list the whole car for sale. I do the price 1234, which is a code that everybody knows for being a parts car. And then people read it, the description, and you say parts only and, you know, whatnot, and you describe it. I also made 1 minute video for each car that I listed to explain the situation, show the car up close. But ultimately, the thing that I'm doing wrong is that I'm listing the whole car. But I do think that is a good start. What I really should be focusing on is listing individual parts, which brings me to my next conversation. So yesterday I have completed the necessary portion of my warehouse. Now I have a photo studio. Sorry, I do not have any pictures to go along with this, but I created a space for me to work in. I have like a 10 by almost 18. Let's see, more like, actually no, exactly 10 by 16 space. It's a little bigger, but that's my shelf space, so I'm just gonna include that. So some of the sections don't have shelves, so that's an area I have to work with. So on the left wall there's a shelf which is 2 feet wide and consists of 2 shelves. So 2 feet wide, 8 foot long, and 8 foot tall. And on the other side, the shelf is a little shorter due to the roof structure design. So I do have that space now. And in the center, towards the end of the wall, it's a flat area, and I basically bought like this white thin piece of sheeting, like it's some kind of white 4x8 sheet that was sold, I don't know, to maybe like do some kind of wall sheeting or something. It's just white, which is nice. And then I already had like a white office table which was gifted to me. I was helping somebody move, and somebody did a good job constructing that office table a long time ago. But obviously trying to move it and everything, we disassembled it, and after disassembling it, I discovered that it actually needed some work. It needed to be fixed up and everything. So I brought that office desk and fixed it all up and everything. I made it stronger. So now it's kind of like a big office desk with like a white. It actually had like a white 1 inch thick piece of wood. Like this is like solid wood that somebody used. The whole thing is made out of wood, not particle board. So it's like really quality. Perfect for this situation. So now I have, you could imagine, a white table that is probably 4 feet by 6 feet, which is perfect for the white background, that sheeting that I did. So now I could take pictures. I know I kind of said it in many words. When I would have a video or pictures of it, it would be easier to explain. But I doubt anybody's even listening to this far. But if anybody cares, yeah, that's what I did. So that is kind of good for me, because I also have studio lights there that I already brought. And additionally, I bought a whole case of extra large cardboard boxes from Home Depot. I guess they're kind of like moving boxes, but they have like small, medium, or maybe like medium, large, and extra large. But I bought the extra large, and I made the boxes to fit perfect on the shelf, because I built the shelves myself. So and the shelves are very strong. They're made out of 2x4s, and also they have like plywood, so they're like really strong. They can really hold a ton of weight. So I made the boxes, I built them all, I put them all on the shelves. So basically now I have like a bunch of empty boxes that's sitting there. And I think I bought probably about 40 boxes. They were not cheap. They were maybe like $3.50 each or something. But I bought up tons of boxes. I think it actually cost me $375, something like that. I can't remember exactly. I bought it like last year. Now it's kind of funny me saying that. Like, yeah, last year, I think at the beginning of the year, because I was trying to get set up. It's a long process, because I got a lot of things that I'm juggling. I mean, I got a wife, I got 3 kids. I need to have money coming in. I need to service cars. I need to do honey-do projects, and I need to also, make money, buy parts, and fix stuff, and it's just never ending. But slowly, I'm getting more efficient. So with that being said, that's good. Like I'm already at that spot where, yes, I could finally start taking pictures, sort of like in my warehouse area. And it's a nicely lit area where, the pictures should actually look good. And, Amazon and even eBay, especially Google, they really like white backgrounds. So if you have a white background when you're selling stuff, you'll do a lot better than not, because it will actually show up in Google results. So now that this is set up, I could start taking pictures. And my goal was to start doing the pictures today. Yeah, believe it or not, on January the 1st, before the New Year's celebration, that's what I worked on. I literally, man, just went up and down that whole warehouse thing and really put the work in to really complete that project. So yeah, today's January the 2nd, and I was thinking, let me go ahead and start doing that, and then later on I'm gonna go and do Uber and Lyft. Well, I had some how-do-you-do projects, and I was done at about 3:30 p.m. So I'm thinking, well, yeah, I could go there and start taking pictures, but Chrysler 300 needs an oil change. It also needs a new air filter and a new cabin filter. So let me do that. So while I was doing that, I'm thinking, well, Range Rover hadn't had an oil change. Chrysler already had its second oil change, and Range Rover never did. I kind of feel bad for it, but hey, I drove that Range Rover for 25,000 miles without changing oil on it. Of course, I added oil in the beginning, but it takes 8.1 quarts of oil. That is if you're making an oil change, and about 8.5 quarts if you maybe just rebuilt the engine and you're doing like a dry fill. But I did replace the oil in the Range Rover. To my surprise, I actually drained out about 7.1 quarts. So I was missing, let's say, a quart of oil. And I'm thinking, wow, I'm amazed how I put 25,000 miles and that's all I'm missing. I'm thinking, that's interesting. What a good engine. I feel bad for not replacing oil. But I mean, it's not like I'm having any issues. It now has, I believe, what's it like? 278,000. I think that's what it says. But I bought it with 153,000 miles is what it had on it, and now it has 178,000. I hope that's what I said, not 278,000. It is a little late, so I could have made that mistake. So yeah, put 25,000 miles on it. But anyways, it's got fresh 8.1 quarts of oil in there, fresh filter. So Chrysler has fresh 6 quarts of oil. But to my surprise, I replaced Chrysler 300 oil, and I drove. It's full synthetic oil, by the way, 5W30, and I drove this car for only 5,000 miles, maybe like 5,200 miles, something around those lines. And guess what? When I measured how much oil I removed, it was only 3 quarts of oil out of 6 quarts. So it takes 6 quarts, yet I removed 3, and I'm thinking, whoa. I did not know this car eats so much oil, because low oil lamp never came on. Most people, this is how they will drive. They're gonna go to the oil place, they're gonna get a sticker saying when is the next time they need to replace oil, and that's exactly when they're going to be replacing oil. So I guess it's not a good approach. Your car might be drinking some oil. So while you're driving the car, I'd say every 1,500 miles, it's a good idea to then, check your oil and add like one quart of oil, maybe like every 1,500 miles if it needs it. But now I know that, at least for me, if I drive about 1,500 miles, I know I'm missing about a quart of oil. That's roughly about the math, that would be like 4,500 miles, and I would lose like 3 quarts. So that's close enough. So I definitely need to start checking. And I guess I'm saying this not because I'm an idiot and I don't check. Most of us, we go off the actual mileage after the oil change. And if the low level oil light never comes on, nobody really bothers to look, especially these modern cars. I'm just surprised, like, that means the car is performing beautifully. I don't have any type of issues. I wasn't like noticing anything. Like everything was fine with the Chrysler 300. So that was fine. So now it's got fresh oil. So here's the mileage that I currently have on a Chrysler. 110,868 miles. I started using it for Lyft, and it only had 102,000 miles. And I started using it for Lyft November the 15th. So looks like, yeah, looks like in about month and a half plus, I put over 8,000 miles on it. So, miles adds up kind of quickly. I never actually listed this car for sale. I just decided to use it. It's a nice car. And what I realized is just working with Lyft and this and that, time flies like crazy. This car is not done to the tip top how I wanted it to be done. I mean, it's a 2005, right? It looks beautiful. Everyone that gets in it says, wow, what a nice car, right? But it's not up to my standards. And to bring it to my standards, it would need 2 front wheel plastic wheel arches, brand new ones, because the ones I have, they're cracked and chafed, and that's from from before I had it, so it would be a good idea to replace that. Also, it needs 2 fog lights in the bumper, and the paint job needs to be corrected. I am not really liking the paint job that I did on it. I mean, maybe it could be buffed out. Maybe it needs to be painted in those areas. That remains to be seen. But since I'm using the car, I'm using it like it is. It's not a show car. Mainly I'm working on it at night. Interior looks beautiful. Other than that, the car is fun. It's actually a really, really amazing car. To me, the year of the car doesn't matter. I think what really ages the car is if you look at the interior and it's all crusty. So then you're like, yeah, that's an old car. This car is not like that. It's actually really nice. It looks like a brand new car on the inside. So anybody that gets in it says, wow, I used to have one like this. Wow, this is really nice. Wow, this is, wow, like everybody just giving me, they're giving me good feedback about how this car is and how it looks on the outside and everything. It does look clean. I will tell you this though. Here's the funny story. I walk out of Walmart and I look and my grill is missing. I had a Bentley style grill in the Chrysler 300. It actually snaps into the bumper, and it would take some effort to really get it out of there. But I don't know if I lost it when I was driving. Maybe it fell out, because that also takes some screws in the back, and I never replaced, I never put screws in because the bumper needs to come out and I needed to repaint it. So I wasn't going to try to do all that extra work, even though it would take a minute. But what seemed like I'm going to be doing this tomorrow or this week turned out to be like 2 months of me driving it. So I don't know, maybe I lost the grill. I mean, I doubt somebody would just pull it out. And for some reason, my bumper was out a little bit. And this bumper is brand new. This bumper hasn't been in any accident. I don't know why it was out a little bit, like, something broken. So when I remove it, I need to actually observe it. So I really don't know what happened there. So that's $80. Cha-ching, gone, because that's all it cost me for that grill. So I actually bought another one. It already came in and I haven't even installed it yet. I'm driving with the original Chrysler 300 grill, which actually looks nice on it. I'm not gonna lie. So with the bumper, which is a 300C bumper, and the black lights that I have installed on it, it actually looks really good. I like it. Also, my rear badge, I need to replace it. My emblem fell out, I think it fell out in a car wash. It was actually my fault, but anyways, I'm gonna have to buy one, and I'm probably gonna buy like an like a modern Chrysler 300 type of wings. I think that's going to look a little bit better, and I would like them to be like black looking to match the car, so the car just kind of like blends in. But I do think this car has a nice look. I'm really happy with it. It's got like nice accents, and it works really well. It gets the job done, and I'm really happy that I was able to put on as many miles as I did, because I'm thinking, look, this car helped feed my family. You know, if I would have sold it, I would have had to put these miles on the Range Rover, and at this time, this is the only car that I have that I could just use for like whatever, you know. It's a pretty nice car. I really like it. I'm not looking forward to selling it. There's other cars that are more boring that I have. I mean, they're probably not boring to some people, but to me, they're a little bit boring. So I may, I may end up just keeping this Chrysler. I don't know, and just sell some of the other stuff. Because to me, this car is, you know, it's a little bit more sentimental. You know, I did mention it before. By the way, I do know I need to turn here, but I'm not, because I'm going to stop at a gas station before I go there. By the way, they're not really paying me enough for this trip anyways. I just accepted it because, I mean, I'm deadheading anyways. You've seen how long I'm talking over here. I'm just deadheading, and it wasn't really getting any requests. I got to go this way anyways. As you can see, I'm nearly where the highway is. That's where I fuel up, and I'm nearly I'm only like 3 miles away from this pickup, so this would have been okay, you know. It's just unfortunately they don't want to pay that well, but I want to drive around today and think about like everything that I'm doing, because I'm having some big plans this year. One of the other things that I'm working on is I'm building a track car. So I joined a racing association, which is SCCA, and they hold a lot of events, you know, different things from like autocross and whatnot. And I also joined Lemons Racing. So I'm looking forward to enjoying myself just going to the track. This is something I always wanted to do, and now at 42 years old, I'm thinking, look, if not now, then when? Because it's never going to be the right opportunity ever. That means I gotta do some things that I want to do now, not later. I don't want to wait till 60 and then just watch people race. I'm like, oh, I used to want to, but never did. I don't want to be one of those people. But anyways, guys, I don't know if you like this type of videos, you know, but this is life. This is my my life, I guess. So let me know if you guys like this style video. Let me know in the comments below. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye bye.